prepare to be captivated by the bone-chilling tale of Mr. Charles and his family's terrifying encounter on that fateful Christmas Eve. Mr. Charles, a highly esteemed businessman with a plethora of successful ventures, finds himself thrust into a spine-tingling situation. In a bold and audacious move, he and Mrs. Charles decide to celebrate the joyous occasion within the walls of one of his long-neglected ancestral mansions. This particular mansion, with its sprawling grounds and a tranquil river meandering alongside its grandeur, holds secrets that have remained hidden for far too long. Although Mr. Charles had acquired the mansion many years ago, he had never truly experienced an extended stay within its enigmatic confines. Driven by a determination to create an unforgettable Christmas Eve, the family spares no effort in arranging meticulous housekeeping services to restore the mansion's former glory. As the sun sets on that eventful evening, they embark on a journey that will forever alter the course of their lives. Despite the unsettling and foreboding atmosphere that permeates the mansion, Mr. Charles chooses to dismiss it as a mere consequence of the neglect it had endured over time. While the family settles into their new abode, Mrs. Charles takes it upon herself to adorn every corner of the house with festive Christmas decorations, while the children eagerly explore the mysteries hidden within the unfamiliar surroundings. As the night progressed, strange events began to unfold. The lights flickered on and off, doors creaked open by themselves, and eerie sounds echoed from empty rooms. The children, overwhelmed with fear, sought comfort from their mother, who tried to reassure them by attributing these occurrences to their overactive imaginations. However, despite her efforts, Mrs. Charles couldn't shake off the uneasiness that settled deep within her. She couldn't ignore the chilling whispers that seemed to linger in the hallways, or the unexplainable cold drafts that sent shivers down her spine. Nevertheless, she remained determined to establish a sense of normalcy for her family, refusing to let fear consume them. The children, unable to ignore the mounting evidence of the mansion's eerie nature, grew increasingly cautious of their surroundings. They huddled together at night, finding solace in each other's presence, while their imaginations ran wild with tales of ghosts and spirits that haunted the mansion. Mrs. Charles, torn between protecting her children and unraveling the mystery of their new home, made the decision to delve deeper into the mansion's history. Through her research, she discovered that the mansion had a dark past, filled with stories of tragedy and despair. It had once been the residence of a wealthy family, but their lives had been plagued by scandal and misfortune. Rumors of curses and vengeful spirits had haunted the mansion for generations, and it appeared that the Charles family had unknowingly stepped into a world of supernatural turmoil. As the clock struck midnight on Christmas Eve, the warm and festive ambiance of the Charles residence took a spine-chilling turn, transforming into a haunting mansion. The magnificent Christmas tree, once adorned with twinkling lights and sparkling ornaments, now cast eerie shadows that stretched across the room. A sudden gust of icy wind seeped through the cracks of the old house, causing the beautifully wrapped presents beneath the tree to rustle ominously. The cheerful Christmas carols playing on the vintage radio morphed into a haunting melody that seemed to reverberate through every corner of the house. Outside, the snow fell silently, adding to the unsettling atmosphere that turned the joyful Christmas spirit into a bone-chilling horror tale. Gathered around the crackling fireplace, the Charles family exchanged nervous glances, feeling an ominous presence looming over them. Mr. Charles, the head of the family, attempted to dismiss their fears and suggested they proceed with their traditional Christmas Eve dinner. However, as soon as the first dish was served, a series of inexplicable events unfolded. The lights flickered one by one, eventually plunging the room into complete darkness. The once delectable feast before them transformed into a repulsive, decaying mess right before their eyes. And to their utmost horror, family members began vanishing without a trace, leaving behind an unsettling void in the midst of the Christmas festivities. Mrs. Charles could feel her blood turn to ice as bone-chilling screams pierced the air, sending waves of terror coursing through her veins. The sight of her children being forcefully snatched away by unseen forces was a nightmare she never imagined she would endure. Her heart raced in her chest as she struggled to comprehend the horrifying scene unfolding before her eyes. Meanwhile, Mr. Charles, driven by an overwhelming desire to protect his beloved family, raced through the house in a frantic search for any means to keep them safe. Thoughts of finding a weapon or summoning help raced through his mind as he entered each room, only to be met with new horrors as the once familiar surroundings twisted into grotesque shapes. Within the confines of their own home, a chilling phenomenon began to unfold. The walls, once sturdy and comforting, now oozed with blood, staining the pristine surfaces a sickening crimson. The sight sent shivers down their spines, as they realized they were trapped within a malevolent mansion that seemed to possess a sinister will of its own. As they moved through the house, the furniture took on a life of its own, shifting and blocking their path. Tables toppled over, creating obstacles in their desperate attempt to escape. The once inviting home had transformed into a nightmarish labyrinth, designed to ensnare them within its clutches. Fear tightened its grip on their hearts as they realized there was no escape from this haunted house. Each step they took seemed to lead them deeper into the darkness, further away from their precious children. The air grew heavy with a sense of foreboding as whispers filled the empty spaces, taunting them with their helplessness. Mrs. Charles, her screams now reduced to choked sobs, clung to her husband, finding solace in his presence amidst the terrifying chaos. United by their unwavering love and unwavering determination, they huddled together, a beacon of light amidst the encroaching darkness. With each passing moment, their resolve grew stronger, fueled by the fierce love they held for their children. Refusing to surrender to despair, they vowed to fight tooth and nail, utilizing every ounce of strength they possessed in order to rescue their family from the clutches of this malevolent force. With trembling hands and hearts filled with determination, they pressed forward, ready to confront the twisted entities that awaited them in the depths of their haunted abode. Little did they know, their journey would test their courage, resilience, and love in ways they could never have imagined. Fear would not consume them entirely, for they were determined to combat the malevolent forces that threatened to tear their family apart. As they continued their desperate search for their children, they stumbled upon a concealed room, hidden behind a bookshelf. Filled with intrigue and hope, they cautiously entered, their hearts pounding with anticipation. To their astonishment, they discovered an ancient tome, its pages adorned with cryptic symbols and incantations. Driven by desperation and a glimmer of hope, Mr. Charles began to decipher the enigmatic text, his trembling fingers tracing the intricate lines. With each word he uttered, the air crackled with energy, and a faint light began to emanate from the book. The room seemed to come alive, as the walls pulsated with an otherworldly energy. Suddenly, a portal materialized before them, a swirling vortex of light and darkness. Without hesitation, they stepped through, their determination outweighing their fear. They found themselves transported to a realm unlike anything they had ever witnessed, a realm where nightmares and reality intertwined. In this surreal landscape, they confronted unimaginable horrors, battling grotesque creatures and facing their deepest fears. But they persisted, driven by their unwavering love for their children. They refused to succumb to the darkness, holding on to the glimmer of hope that they would one day be reunited with their beloved ones. After what seemed like an eternity, they finally arrived at the heart of the realm, a towering fortress emanating an overwhelming sense of malevolence. With every ounce of strength they had left, they stormed the fortress, battling their way through a horde of nightmarish creatures. At last, they reached the inner chamber, where their children were held captive. The sight of their innocent faces, filled with fear and confusion, ignited an even fiercer determination within them. Fueled by adrenaline, they confronted the final guardian, a monstrous entity that embodied their deepest fears. In a climactic showdown, they emerged triumphant, their love and resilience overpowering the darkness. As the fortress crumbled around them, they gathered their children in their arms, tears of relief streaming down their faces. They had conquered the horrors that threatened to tear their family apart. Stepping out of the realm, they found themselves back in their own home, the once haunted mansion now restored to its former state. The walls no longer dripped with blood, and the furniture stood motionless, no longer under the influence of malevolence. With tears of joy, the parents rushed to embrace their children, holding them tightly as if they would never let go. In that moment, their love for each other grew stronger than ever, a bond forged through the trials they had endured together. As they made their way back through the portal, leaving the realm of nightmares behind, they knew that their family would forever be transformed. They had witnessed the depths of darkness, but they had also discovered the indomitable power of love and resilience. And as they huddled together, desperately searching for an escape, they stumbled upon a concealed passage that led to an ancient study. As they stepped inside the mansion, their hearts raced with anticipation. Little did they know that they were about to uncover a chilling secret that would change their lives forever. The discovery of the journal sent shivers down their spines as they delved into its pages, revealing a horrifying truth. This grand mansion, with its elegant facade, was built upon an ancient burial ground. The spirits of the restless souls buried there were awakened, seeking revenge for the disturbance of their eternal rest. Mr. Charles and his family had no choice but to confront their deepest fears head-on. The battle against the vengeful spirits was a grueling and terrifying ordeal that lasted throughout the night. But as the first rays of sunlight illuminated the Christmas morning sky, they emerged from the mansion, victorious. The experience had transformed them, instilling within them a newfound appreciation for the true essence of the holiday season. However, the once joyous Christmas Eve had forever changed for them. The night of terror had left an indelible mark, making it impossible to celebrate in the same carefree manner. The Charles Mansion, now abandoned, stood as a haunting reminder of the horrifying events that unfolded every Christmas Eve. It served as a cautionary tale, a chilling lesson that even the most festive of holidays could take a sinister turn. The legend of the Christmas horror story continued to cast a dark shadow over anyone who dared to enter the forsaken house. It became a stark reminder that amidst the jingling bells and twinkling lights, one must remain vigilant for any signs of malevolent spirits. For if not, they too might find themselves entangled in their own Christmas nightmare. So next time you hear the bells jingling and see the lights twinkling, remember to be cautious and watch out for any signs of malevolent spirits. Or you may just end up with your own Christmas horror story to tell. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas. May all your celebrations be filled with joy and peace. Keep spreading love, kindness, and cheer in the new year ahead. Cheers to a brighter and safer future for everyone. We appreciate your viewership and hope you enjoyed today's video. To stay updated with similar content, we encourage you to subscribe and activate the notification bell. If you have any personal experiences related to the video, we would love to hear from you. Join us on this thrilling journey as we delve into the world of horror stories.